I think I would definitely hands down say that I ally myself with the values and what Palestine would be fighting for, because I think that they rightfully have a place there, and that I feel like Israel, what they're doing is in the wrong, because they're murdering and killing all these civilians, women and children, and a lot of what they say, it's been proven to be lies. It's just hard for me to bring myself to support them or anything. I feel like really for Israel, the war is more like a business, and that they're just seeking to make profit, take over the land that Palestine rightfully should get.
So I'm on the side of Israel more because Hamas is basically using the Palestinians as like a human shield, so that basically so many Palestinian children, women, and men are being killed.
According to that exact point where the Palestinians took the 3 kids and killed them, the response to that from Israel wasn't as what I would expect it to be. They could have been more diplomatic about it.
I know that Israel has killed a lot more like people from Hamas than the other way around.
I strongly aligned myself with the values of the Israeli side. I was indeed involved. I was actually at a Jewish overnight camp while the recent conflict restarted, and we were in a lot of education programs and a lot of outreach programs, and I would have attended the protest in San Francisco on August 4th or the 3rd, one of the two, but I was actually on an airplane from the East Coast, so I couldn't make it.
I don't think I have enough knowledge to like offer a solution. Yeah, but I just hope that they find peace pretty soon.
There's a very easy way to end the conflict. All that has to happen is for Hamas to stop sending missiles from the Gaza Strip into Israel, and Israel will stop attacking back. Israel has tried, I think it's 11 times now, to have ceasefires, and every single ceasefire that has been attempted has been broken by Hamas, every single one. And so because of that, if Hamas just stops sending missiles and terrorizing Israeli civilians, the conflict will end and there will be no more conflict.
I've heard that there's some problems with the police department in Ferguson. So yeah, I hope that these protests, which are generally peaceful, lead to some sort of reform.
I personally think that the Ferguson case was definitely an act of discrimination. This is the kind of thing that I get kind of angry about, because it's like not really hidden from public view. It's just people choose to be ignorant about it. People make assumptions about other people just based on their race. And these kids are young and they have so much to offer, and just because of the color of their skin, they're being shot dead when they're not even armed. They're just walking down the street minding their own business. And this isn't the first time that something like this has happened, but I'm just glad that it's come to the public's attention a little bit more, because things like this happen every day. It's just that nobody cares about them. The really sad thing is when an African-American kid gets shot, or any person of color gets shot, people always assume the worst. They're like, oh, they were a criminal, they were carrying a weapon, but like 90% of the time that's not true, Clearly unarmed kid who had nothing to do with anything, who was, probably gonna do great things with his life. It's just sad, honestly.
As a matter of fact, I've never heard of Robin Williams until he died, so no, I can't say that he did. But after I heard about it, I went and searched up like some of his songs and like scenes from like Good Morning Vietnam and stuff. So yeah, I guess it helped me find out who he was.
So my thoughts on him dying was I was in the Ghirardelli Square in San Francisco, and I was on my phone, and then I was looking through Facebook, and I saw it, and I was like, oh my god, really? I told my dad, he couldn't believe it, and we were walking through San Francisco, and everyone was on their phones like, oh my god, Robin Williams died, oh my god. And then, so I was watching YouTube one day, and this girl, she knew him personally, she's like a famous YouTuber, and she's known that he had depression problems for around 30 years or so, and it's so weird how someone who makes so many people laugh is as depressed as he was. So I think they really affected me since one of my favorite movies was RV, and he played the dad in it, and he was so hilarious.